So tell me about what you want to tell me about on your trip. I ain't got any light on your face, so we got to turn this around. Sit in my chair. Okay.
So I went to the Leo.
Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Camille, Russell's friend Camille.
And
Just came back from a road trip up to Chicago, see some friends. Chicago Cubs Fury. On my way back, I stopped in southeast Ohio and visited the Leo petroglyphs, stone drawings done by Fort Ancient people, probably from 1000 to possibly 1650 AD. And it was lovely, lovely drawings in the rock, some recognizable faces or bear claws and other sort of extraterrestrial looking things. So maybe these ancient people came from another planet. Who knows? Who knows?
I have a poem about that. You want to hear it?
Please.
I did it recently in one of my recordings. I've been reminded of this poem.
Yes?
It goes, I'm in outer space right behind my face. You might think I'm right in front of you, but really I'm some other place. I'm in outer space right behind my face.
I like that.
I can carry on with it sometimes. Other times I'm not as inspired.
So I went to the petroglyphs, and then also nearby were the Buckeye Furnace from 1856. This huge construction where they, I believe they forged iron there.
Uh-huh. There was iron over here nearby us in Bolton Creek. They're back down there and somewhere. I've always wanted to make it into a visitor's attraction for Carrboro, would be to find the old iron mine and foundry that was down there.
Where do you think it is?
It's about, I don't know, 8/10 of a mile from here, according to what I remember of my readings about Carrboro.
What's it
where
near?
We are.
Yes. What's it? Where's this mine? What's it near to here that I would recognize?
It's not. It's near some houses on a creek down through Bolton. You gotta go up here and take a right.
Uh-huh. On this side of Estes Park?
You go down North Greensboro Street and you take a right down through there in that winding neighborhood, and there's a creek down there.
Uh-huh.
Now, somewhere along that creek, according to what I am told, there one time was an iron foundry, an iron mine. When I've dug foundations up in the other side by the hill, I come on blue mud, which is a sign of copper and silver.
Ah.
I didn't have something to heat this mud up with. Somebody stole my gold.
Your gold?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, we don't know. We can't find. I had torn up these computers and busted the parts and put hydrochloric acid and hydrogen peroxide and then filtered it, and now we can't find the filters that were taped into a flower pot and drain out the bottom. And the only stuff I got left is in a jar over there.
How much gold do you think you had?
I had no idea. I mean, it looks like, I don't know whether it's gold or copper for certain, but I was told it was gold on the contacts in a YouTube video.
Well, if it was on YouTube, you gotta believe it. Just putting
So tell me more about this trip. You had a good time in Chicago.
I visited friends.
And you told them about the Neo blockhead squares. Neo square blockheads.
Somehow I was mentioning something about something, and I said, "Oh, I've got this friend down in North Carolina. He'd call those people Neo squares, blockheads, Neo squares." Someone said, "Oh, that's good. I like that." I said, "Yeah." And I had breakfast 2 Sundays in a row at the Golden House, which was setting in that crazy TV show Shameless. I've never really seen much of the show, but I was told that was the place.
What is the place that Shameless is based on?
Well, Shameless, there's a British...
I've watched the show.
There's a British version and a U.S. version.
Really?
Yes. Of course, the British version was first, and the U.S. just copied from that.
Well, what projects they used for the...
But in Chicago...
One in England.
I don't know, I haven't seen much of it. I don't really care for the show.
Yeah, it gets to you after a while.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people like it, but it's just
it's a drama.
It kind of wears on me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a drama.
But there's some character who works in a diner, Patty's Pie House or something like that, or Patsy's Pie House.
That was late in the development of it.
But anyway, that's the original place is actually the Golden House on Broadway in Chicago, right next to the Riviera Theater. Which is where I often have breakfast on Sunday mornings with some friends, and I went and had breakfast there twice. And then the city was all beside itself because of those crazy Cubbies. Finally, after 108 years, won the World Series.
I paid so little attention. It is a horrific failure on my part to not participate at all in the great focus of so many people.
Well, 108 years is a long time.
I've heard of it, and they did talk about how wonderful it was.
And it was a great series.
They said basically they talked about how old baseball was on TV. The guy pundit was talking about how 108 years ago there was no NFL or any of the other NBA or any of the other.
They didn't even have sliced bread.
Yeah. What was that book? Did you ever read that book, Greatest Thing Since Sliced Bread?
And women didn't have the vote 108 years ago. So it was fun just to be in the city where everybody was all excited and wearing Cubs gear. And I
thought Chicago was a great training city. The ultimate training city is Toronto.
Training for what?
Survival in big cities.
Oh. Yes, maybe.
For one thing, Chicago's on a grid.
That's helpful.
And for the other thing, it's pretty well done. I don't know. But, if I'd have done the things I was doing in Toronto and California, I'd be a dead boy by now. They nearly threw me out a window in Toronto, for God's sakes.
Toronto?
Yeah, but I had warnings. The criminals there are kind of nice about it, at least giving you warnings and beating you up before they shoot you or throw you out the window. I had a deal over a car we had taken from a guy who beat a guy with a lead pipe to steal mescaline, and I was supposed to get the car to become a landed immigrant, and me and my buddy took a long drive across Canada and back, and I didn't get landed, and the guy had the deed. Now, see, we got this guy. One guy wanted to give him 30 tabs of bad ass and throw him on the street. Another guy wanted to cut off one of his fingers, and I got it. I wrote about this story in my book. That book I gave you.
Uh-huh.
It's Intro to RSDay. This is another playlist I created for the Morphine Withdrawal series. This is called Homage to Jim Morrison. In homage to Jim Morrison Withdrawal, because he talked about killing his parents, and I unleashed the amount of fury in here when I talked about what I'd like to do to some of these people that hurt me.
Not to diminish your experience, but it's unfortunate. The system has hurt a lot of people.
Oh, I know. I read up on it.
Oh, what did you learn?
I learned that there's a lot of, some people have been denied their medicines and killed themselves.
Yep.
From the pain. If you don't know about disabling pain, you don't mind hurting people. If you've never had disabling pain, and then if you believe all this bullshit about tolerance being terrible and all like that, you know, if it's all that works, just because you need more, there's no real big reason. We're not talking about criminal use of something like meth, you know, rot your teeth. This is for you can be entirely healthy on opium. You just need more and more.
I read something. I'll go back and see if I can find it, where they were actually put the onus on Big Pharma, basically flooding the markets with all these.
That's bullshit. The war on drugs meant that down in Mexico they took the business away from the peasants and they put them in coke factories they could make more money off of. And
a lot of these are synthetic.
Well, that's China. That has to do with China.
No, that has to do with Big Pharma in the U.S.
Well, now that's a different issue. That's people abusing prescription drugs.
Right. The OxyContin, you know, but...
I'm not involved in that.
I understand that.
And the people that
you are suffering
are causing me problems
of that.
But I mean, it just makes me know they'll come and get your gun if they know where to find it when they make them illegal for the wrong people. Because, you know, they could find us patients. They know where we are and they know what we take for our pain. They just decided, well, we'll give them something else, whether it works right or not.
And how is that? Oh, that's oil or something.
It's all right, you know.
That's oil.
I still have had an experience of the pathological system that made me like furious and a little bit
crazy.
Not crazy. I'm not crazy. I'm angry.
I don't mean crazy.
I have good reasons to understand what has happened with my psychology. I told them they were pathological, and they are. I'm not.
I don't think they
I'm suffering from a pathological system.
I don't think they understand.
Well, they don't understand disabling pain that only certain people understand who've had it or have it as a threat.
It's wrong, way wrong.
And you're a professional, right?
Yes, I'm a professional.
Tell me more about monetary theory.
I don't know anything more about monetary theory. Like I was on a bit of a political and economic hiatus.
All right. Well, we'll get back to work. All right. I'm going to close this show off.